Hey everyone, this is Michelle over here at Bunebape, and welcome to episode 7 of my journey to cheese my way to a Zuck helm. You may be asking yourself, Zuck helm without Inferno? What? And to that I say, it's okay to have goals. We all have to start somewhere. For this episode, I was at Jad working on the Fight Cave Speed Chaser combat achievement. This is a speed type master level task to finish the fight caves in less than 30 minutes. This achievement has been completed by 3.7% of players at the time of recording. As this is an insanely long CA, even while going fast, I'll be using the footage of my fight in the background for anyone curious, and even then, I'm definitely going to be cutting out quite a bit of it. For all of the 8 years I've had my account, and for over 40 KC at the fight caves, the Jad speed times have eluded me. Maybe that's due to bad RNG, maybe it's because I never actually looked up how to do it, but I can never get my time within even 5 minutes of what is required. That is, until one day I was bored while on medical leave following surgery and decided, you know what? I really want the Jad pet. Let's go work on some CAs while grinding for it. And while I may have finished the task, thanks to the CA guide posted by Nang on YouTube and the osrs wiki about it, I sadly still do not have the pet to this day. The gear and inventory suggested for this task is so ridiculous, please forgive me for naming nearly every piece item in the game real quick. I was wearing an imbued Slayer helm while on task, by the way, Masori body and legs, Ava's assembler, necklace of anguish, Rada's blessing 4, Barrel's gloves, big Asian boots, a light bearer, and using a toxic blowpipe with dragon darts set to rapid speed. In my inventory, I brought along a Webweaver, dragon claws, chinchompas, a book of the dead with runes for death charge and thralls, 1 Guthix rest, 2 Ceradoman brews, 2 divine bastions, 2 stamina pots, 1 divine super combat, 1 prayer regeneration, and 14 super restores. This is on top of my bank standing pre-pots of prayer regeneration, forgotten brew, stamina, divine super combat, and divine ranging pot, with 2 anglers to overheal myself to 121. Small tip here, if you are overhealed, you can prayer flick rapid heal before the hit point timer goes down to keep your hit points maxed out. You may be thinking, oh my god, is all this really necessary? And honestly, I have no idea, but it got me the CA, so who cares? I'm a main, I love wasting golden supplies. There are also several plugins I'd recommend that help me a lot if you are going for this task. First, but in no particular order, is the FC spawn predictor. Until I really looked into this task, I had no idea that the fight caves has only 15 possible rotations. I literally thought it was just random every single time. The way it works is like this. Jad's rotations are on a timer based on the time in game. Each rotation lasts for 1 minute before moving to the next, with the exception of rotation 4, which lasts for 2 minutes. Any rotation is based on the exact minute when you enter the fight caves. With the plugin, you can set a preferred wave and there'll be a countdown to show you how long until that rotation will be active. Personally, I use rotation 5 for the CA, but the wiki said that rotation 2 is pretty good as well. Now when you go into the fight caves, there will be tiles on the ground showing where everything is going to spawn in the next wave of enemies. This is a plugin that I'd never even heard of before, but now will not go without if I'm trying to get a quick Jad KC. A second plugin to help you stay on track for speed is the Entity Hider plugin. Many people probably know this plugin for hiding random players in popular worlds, but there's also a box that you can check off in the settings to make it remove the death animation for NPCs. You never realize just how long you stand around watching them die until you turn this plugin on. A true game changer, as you can visually see that you're good to run away to the next enemy. Better NPC highlight can be used to highlight NPCs and even turn on their true tiles using their item IDs. I like to use this plugin for the bats, as I sometimes have a hard time noticing them in the big cave, as well as rangers to see them easier against the background, meleeers for their true tile, and magers for low-key no reason. If you're using the plugin, I'd highly recommend also highlighting Jad's healers at the end. They can be super hard to see with their emo little robes. As for where to get the item IDs, personally I got all mine from random Reddit posts, but there's a massive list on the wiki, and I believe there are plugins to help you look into what you need. This next plugin might be a hot take for people who love the traditional look of osrs, but as an HD enjoyer, I clearly don't care and thus like to use Ground Object Hider. If you enter the IDs for the fight cave's floor, it will make the ground completely black instead of lava. One more small plugin suggestion is the Boost Potion Reminder. It works exactly how it sounds. It will notify you when your combat boosts are out and you need to take another sip. I definitely utilize so many other plugins while working on this task, so if there's anything in particular you'd like to know, please comment below and I'll try my best to figure out which plugin was being used for it. One of the tougher parts of the CA was going against my muscle memory when it comes to the fight caves. Evan remembers being taught to utilize the Italy Rock to save spot when you can. The speedrunning technique is the exact opposite. Now you run towards your enemies at all times. The general idea is run to an enemy while keeping thralls and rigor active at all times and kill it quickly with your blowpipe. Death charge, especially if you've gotten the right of Vile Transference from Yaman to upgrade it, is massive here. I use a reminder plugin to keep an active timer going so I know exactly when I can cast this again, as well as for when my thralls run out. As you're running around, killing enemies with the light bearer and using up your death charges, you'll get so many opportunities to heal using the blowpipe special attack. This is actually going to be the main way you heal while speedrunning this task. Think of the bruise and the Guthix rest as your emergency heals for later waves if you're like me and too lazy to prayer flick. A few other tips I gathered for the CA involve chinchompas and dragon claws, two things I usually do not bring with me to the fight caves. The chin tech I have heard of before but never gave a real chance. Essentially, you kill the blobs, then switch to chins to kill the two mini blobs at the same time. Easy peasy. The dragon claws I used to finish off kills of the melee NPCs in earlier levels. As the cave progresses, personally, I did not use this as much as I was saving my special attack energy to heal with the blowpipe. By far the weirdest change for me in this attempt was that I was using a Webweaver on Jad. Usually I'd use my Bofa, but I am a silly Billy and sold that along with my crystal armor set to buy other gear. Allegedly, if you don't have the full armor set, the Webweaver is the best option, besides the T-bow of course. Seems weird, but it was on the speed time wiki, and like every other weird thing I did, it worked, so I'm not complaining.
So that was a lie.
I misread the combat achievement wiki and did not look at the normal suggestions. Webweaver is not the next best option at Jad. I believe it was my second real attempt of this setup and plan that I was able to get the speed time. My KC and new PB ended up being 27 minutes and 52 seconds, a whole 2 minutes under the time I needed to get. It only took me 47 total Jad KC to get there. In my humble opinion, this task is pretty accurately rated as master level. While it does require decent gear, most of what's needed is for you to just lock in and proactively go for NPCs, which is really refreshing compared to some other CAs that you have to reset over and over. Of course, I'm wearing Masori and have Dragon Claws, so I may sound biased, but I was still able to get it with 2 minutes to spare, so I think a couple gear downgrades wouldn't make it impossible. There were only a few parts of the CA that annoyed me, like how there were so many random pots you need to use before and during the fight. I don't think I've ever used a Forgotten Brew before this task and didn't even know what it did ahead of time. While generally I think fight caves is super boring because it's really slow and repetitive until you get to later waves, I found the semi-sweaty techniques here made it more fun and interesting. Now I use these strategies every KC I go for. This is coming from someone who once maybe kind of definitely fell asleep doing fight caves while live on Twitch and was woken up by a mod playing a John Cena sound effect. To all my fellow sleepy fight cave gamers, try to speedrun every KC and you will hopefully stay awake. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge for anyone paying attention that yes, Jad was wearing a Christmas hat. Yes, it really does take me that long to edit these videos. I am working on getting faster, I swear. That is going to be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the video and if you have any suggestions for additional tasks that you think I could handle. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. You can also show some extra love by subscribing on Patreon, which will get you an exclusive Discord badge, early and ad-free access to my podcast, or even free merch mailed to you depending on your tier. We've also now partnered with Vox's merch, so use the link down below with code BOON20 to get 20% off any merch you order. You can catch me live 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape or this YouTube channel, and every week on the osrs podcast I co-host, also called Bunebape, which can be found here or wherever you get your podcast.